Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. Today we're taking a quick look at Forbearance. I know most people have their focus turned towards Hammerhead as that's actually looking to shake up our loadouts, but I figured Forbearance and its new perks / synergies were worth my and your attention. You see, the question lots of people are asking is, do I need the new one? If you're like 99% of the people that watch my stuff, then you have an ambitious assassin plus chain reaction roll sitting in your inventory. It's probably been there for a couple of years. But with that in mind, this video is diving into my experience with the new Forbearance, specifically its newest god roll, and how it matches up to the old one. So here we have the perks for our new Forbearance, and of course the OG roll is still present here. If there is anyone watching this video that's either a new player or doesn't have an ambitious assassin plus chain reaction Forbearance yet, get one. There is a nerf coming to chain reaction. I'm sure you've heard all the doom and gloom about it, and we'll touch on that in a second, but I guarantee this weapon will still be borderline broken despite that. Now then, the new god roll is demolitionist plus chain reaction. At least that's what I think, and I've heard other people say the same. This new roll is what had me intrigued most and made me curious on how it performs. You see, number-wise, this roll will grant 15% grenade energy per kill when on a light subclass. That's 10% coming from demolitionist and 5% coming from indomitability, the origin trait. I figured pairing massive ability regeneration with cracked ad clear could honestly make me vault my old Forbearance. Now, of course, this sounds great on paper, but this brings us to how well it actually performs. I was lucky enough to get that exact roll, and I've since experimented with it inside of Onslaught and other activities, and I have a few observations that I want to relay to you. First and foremost, number one, it works exactly like you think. In one shot, you can easily get your entire grenade back. That does require 7 kills. Here at Shirochi, that's a total breeze, but this isn't really a realistic setting. So then I took it into Onslaught. I didn't do Legend, but even here, I started to feel some pain points, feel some abrasion. To be precise, old Forbearance just slays out way more efficiently. Of course, this is obvious, but as I was getting lots of grenade energy, I couldn't help but feel like rather than demolitionist, ambitious assassin would have just made for a better feeling weapon. But then my second observation, that sometimes I just wouldn't get the expected energy back. There were times where I would kill probably 5 or 6 enemies and I'd only get like 20% energy back, maybe 30, like 2 or 3 kills worth. Definitely not how many I actually killed. I'm imagining that there's just a lot going on and the game fails to track everything properly. It could also have something to do with how chain reaction just often doesn't even have damage numbers, or I could just be miscounting my kills and it's a visual thing that I'm not catching. And then the third thing I noticed, which is going to be another pretty obvious one, that without ambitious assassin, Forbearance has a very hard time dealing with elites or tanky red bars. The fodder are easy all the time, dregs through all that kind of stuff, where you can dump 2 shots into an elite with ambitious assassin to at least get it low health. You gotta just sit there and do 1 shot at a time if you have a demolitionist roll. Granted, that's where grenades should make up the difference. And with that being said, I think I am being a little too harsh on demolitionist here. Sure, it might not have the slaying capabilities of ambitious assassin, but I shouldn't expect it to. If you're rocking some arc build with Verity's Brow, for example, I'm sure you can have insane grenade uptime. And for that alone, I think this new roll is worth trying. I loved Salvager Salvo, and this new Forbearance feels pretty similar. And I would say at the very least, if you get a demo chain roll, you gotta try out just getting your grenade back in 1 shot. It's pretty damn satisfying. So TLDR, unless you really like grenades, god roll hasn't changed. And then lastly, I do want to touch on the chain reaction nerf and say you don't need to worry about it. Minus 15% detonation radius and minus 20% detonation damage isn't going to affect us as much as you think. Chain reaction will still activate like normal, meaning lots of explosions all the time, and most things that die to those explosions are still going to die to those explosions when the nerf hits. The only thing we are going to feel is we're just going to see less elites getting chunked or killed by the fodder exploding at its feet. But without a doubt, chain reaction is getting reined in a bit, but it's not going anywhere. And that's all I've really got to say. I'm very interested to hear what you think about this new Forbearance. Let me know if you're chasing the same roll that I've got or if you're looking for anything else. And if there is some god roll that I missed, let me know, because this is kind of just what I was interested in and I got lucky enough to get it on day 1. Now you know I'm going to be attuned to Hammerhead for the rest of this week. Also on the note, outside of Forbearance, what's your Hammerhead god roll? I've had some discussions about what other people's god rolls are, but I want to hear specifically yours. So let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, a like and a subscription helps out a lot, gets me into the algorithm. If you want to support me and support the channel, but you can't think of a comment down below Forbearance. And with that, as usual, I hope you are having a great day, and I hope to see you around.